There is a good chance you already own a sleeveless dress you still love. It may be navy, floral, black, or a soft summer print. And every time you see it in your closet, you think, maybe not this year. Not because the dress is wrong, not because your body is wrong, but because nobody ever showed you how to make a sleeveless dress work beautifully on a real grown woman with real arms, real heat, real bra concerns, and a real life to dress for. That is what this video is for. We are going to walk through 5 connected tricks that make sleeveless dresses feel easier, lighter, and more elegant to wear after 60. One of them is especially helpful if you prefer coverage, have sensitive skin, or simply do not want anything tight on your arms. Another is a visual correction that makes the whole outfit read more balanced before anyone notices your arms at all. One common mistake quietly makes sleeveless dresses harder to wear, and I will show you that in a later section. And near the end, I will give you a practical shopping shortcut so you know exactly what words to type instead of guessing online for an hour. This is not a random list of fashion tips. It is a system. First, we change the base, then we change the frame. Then we add comfort and permission. Then we guide the eye. Then we soften contrast. Once those pieces work together, the dress does not feel exposing, it feels intentional. And when it feels intentional, you stop wondering whether you are allowed to wear it. You simply get dressed and go, whether that dress is for lunch, church, travel, a wedding shower, or dinner on a hot evening this summer again. The first mistake many women make is completely understandable. You try to solve a sleeveless dress with a cardigan, a shrug, or a little jacket you already own. It seems sensible. More fabric should feel safer. But very often, that extra layer creates the problems you are trying to avoid. It adds heat. It adds bulk at the upper arm. It cuts a visible line right where you do not want one. And instead of making the dress feel graceful, it can make the outfit look apologetic. That is why trick 1 is what I call the invisible sleeve. This is not a heavy top layer. It is a light underlayer that sits close to the body and lets the dress keep its shape. Think soft mesh, sheer knit, stretch tulle, featherweight jersey, or a very thin second skin style sleeve layer. The goal is not to squeeze the arm or bury it under weight. The goal is to soften the line and reduce that sudden bare-to-dress contrast that can feel too sharp. Here is how to wear it. Start with the dress first. Then add a fitted underlayer with sleeves long enough to feel intentional. For some women, that means a short sleeve that ends above the fullest part of the arm. For others, a bracelet sleeve or full sleeve works better because it creates one uninterrupted line. The sleeve should skim, not grip. If it leaves marks, bunches at the underarm, or pulls across the bust, it is too tight. Color matters here. A close match to your skin tone creates the most invisible effect. A close match to the dress color can also work beautifully, especially with black, navy, cocoa, olive, or soft rose. Avoid a strong high-contrast underlayer unless contrast is part of the whole outfit. For fair skin, pale taupe, blush beige, soft ivory, and cool pink beige can look gentler than stark white. For deeper skin tones, rich cocoa, espresso, bronze, mahogany, or a warm neutral close to your undertone usually looks more seamless than a generic nude. Fit rules are simple. No thick cuffs, no shiny compression fabric, unless you enjoy that look. No sleeve hem that digs in at the widest point, and no neckline that fights the dress neckline underneath. Smooth edges matter more than extra inches of fabric. When you shop, search terms matter. Try mesh sleeve layering top, sheer long sleeve base layer, second skin top, lightweight stretch tulle top, soft nude underlayer, or fitted layering tee for dresses. Department store basics, dancewear brands, and modest fashion lines can all help. If online photos show thick hems, visible elastic, or athletic shine, skip it. The invisible sleeve should feel like atmosphere, not armor. Once the base is smoother, we can stop focusing only on coverage and start talking about proportion. Because the next trick changes how the eye reads the whole upper body. Now that we have changed the layer, we need to change the frame. A lot of women are told that the answer to sleeveless dressing is a wider strap. Wider feels safer. Wider feels more covered. And sometimes it does solve a bra problem, which matters. But a wider strap is not automatically more flattering. If the strap becomes too heavy for your shoulder line, it can make the upper body look blockier and the arm look more separate from the dress. This is where I want you to shift from coverage thinking to geometry thinking. The eye does not just notice skin. It notices relationships. It notices where one line begins, where another line ends, and how much width sits next to openness. That means a dress can show more skin and still look more balanced, while another can show less skin and somehow look heavier. The difference is proportion. If you have fuller upper arms, do not assume your best option is the thickest strap you can find. Very often the better option is a strap strong enough to anchor the dress, but not so broad that it shortens the shoulder line. A cleaner strap can make the arm read as part of a longer line. That is especially helpful on petites. On taller women or women with broader shoulders, a slightly stronger strap can work well, but it still needs harmony with the neckline. Here is a practical test you can remember. I call it the 3-finger rule. If the strap is narrower than 1 finger, it often starts looking delicate in a way that may feel less secure or less bra-friendly. If it is wider than about 3 fingers on your own hand, it can start reading more like a tank panel than a balanced dress strap, unless the design is intentionally architectural. The sweet spot for many women is somewhere in that middle zone, then adjusted for height, bust, and shoulder width. Neckline pairing matters just as much. A moderate V-neck often lengthens and lightens the upper body. A soft, square neck can frame the collarbone and create structure without heaviness. A scoop neck can feel easy, but if the straps are very wide and the scoop is very high, the whole top section can turn into one broad panel. That is why some dresses cover more and still flatter less. Bra practicality is not a small issue. If the dress strap is so narrow that you are tugging, pinning, or worrying all day, it is not the right dress for your life. Look for straps that cover the bra where possible, or a neckline and back shape that let you wear support without constant adjustment. Check the back view too. Front and back should agree visually. You are not trying to hide your arms. You are building better visual architecture around them. The right strap does not flatter because it covers more. It flatters because it balances more. Once that clicks, sleeveless dressing stops feeling like a test of courage and starts feeling like design. And for some women, design is only part of the answer. The next trick is for the woman who wants a softer kind of coverage or needs it and deserves to choose it without apology. Now we come to the trick I especially wanted to include for the woman who has been thinking, yes, proportion helps, but I still do not want my arms fully bare. Maybe you simply prefer more coverage. Maybe your skin is sensitive. Maybe you have scarring, swelling, tenderness, or a body history. Maybe air conditioning feels rough on your arms, even in summer. Maybe you have had surgery in the past and you want softness, not pressure. And styling should make room for your real body, not demand that your body behave like a mannequin. Your comfort gets a real vote here. This is where the permission layer comes in. A permission layer is different from a cardigan and different from a structured jacket. It is light, open, and non-compressive. It does not clamp the arm, add thick bulk at the shoulder, or turn a fluid dress into a box. It gives you ease without making the outfit feel shut down. Think of a sheer open front duster, a chiffon wrap left loose, a gauzy kimono-style layer, a light linen shirt worn open, a silk blend topper, or a draped scarf that reads as part of the outfit instead of a cover-up emergency. The open front rule matters here. When the layer stays open, the eye can still see the dress underneath as one long column. That keeps the body from looking cut into sections. The moment a soft layer closes tightly across the front, bunches under the arm, or grabs at the waist, you lose that ease and move back toward bulk. So the permission layer should float. It should frame. It should not clamp. Match the fabric to the occasion. For daytime, a washed voile shirt, a light cotton gauze layer, or a socked linen blend can feel cool and casual. For restaurants, church, travel, or indoor air conditioning, a featherweight knit or soft jersey topper can be practical without looking heavy. For evening, dinners, weddings, or summer events, chiffon, georgette, silk blend, or sheer organza overlays can give you movement without stiffness. If you are petite, keep the layers shorter or more vertical. If you are taller, you can often carry a longer line beautifully. If your arms are fuller, avoid tight armholes in the layer itself. This is styling guidance, not medical advice. For viewers with ongoing medical concerns, swelling, tenderness, or post-surgical questions, it is wise to check with your healthcare provider. But from a style perspective, many women find that soft, breathable, non-compressive pieces feel more comfortable than anything clingy or tight. If that applies to your body, permission matters just as much as appearance. And this is the open loop from the beginning. If you have had surgery before, or you carry scars you would rather not highlight, the best layer is often not the one that hides the most. It is the one that touches the least aggressively. Softness matters. Breathability matters. Gentle movement matters. A floaty open layer can let you wear the dress you love without the feeling that your outfit is arguing with your body all day. When you shop, use practical language. Search terms like open front chiffon topper, lightweight gauze shirt jacket, summer kimono layer, sheer duster for dresses, soft travel topper, no closure cardigan, or breathable evening wrap can lead you in a much better direction than simply typing cover-up. Cover-up often brings back bulk, beachwear, or shapeless pieces. Also be careful with crop shrugs that stop at the widest part of the bust, heavy waterfall knits, stiff boleros, and anything with tight elastic at the wrist or upper arm. If you shop in stores, head first to occasion wear, travel separates, resort lines, or lightweight layering collections rather than basic sweater sections. If you are budget conscious, look at end-of-season scarves, open shirts, dance wraps, or soft overshirts in breathable fabrics. And I want to pause here for the dignity part of this conversation. Wanting coverage does not mean you are failing at confidence. Choosing softness does not mean you are hiding. It may simply mean you know your comfort, your history, your skin, and your own standards of ease. That is wisdom, not insecurity. The point of style at this stage of life is not to force yourself into exposure you do not enjoy. The point is to create clothes that let you arrive fully as yourself. Once comfort is handled, we can deal with the other half of elegance, which is teaching the eye where to go on purpose. Once comfort is handled, the next question is this: where is the eye going? The eye rarely lands at random. It moves toward contrast, shine, detail, color change, exposed skin, and any place where the outfit gives it a clear destination. If you do not give it one, it will start scanning for edges on its own. That is why some women put on a sleeveless dress and immediately feel overexposed, even when the dress fits well. The outfit has not offered a visual landing place, so the eye keeps circling the bare arm area as unfinished information. That is why trick 4 is the eye magnet. An eye magnet is an intentional focal point that tells the viewer where to look first. It can be near the face. It can be at the neckline. It can be at the waist. It can even be lower on the body if that creates a better balance. The point is not sparkle for its own sake. The point is visual leadership inside the outfit. And now we can pay off the mistake I mentioned at the beginning. One of the most common sleeveless dress mistakes is trying to solve exposure only by adding fabric, while forgetting to add focus. So the woman puts on a dress, maybe adds a layer, maybe adjusts the strap, and feels unsettled. Why? Because the eye still has nowhere intentional to go. No focal point means the outfit can feel blank at the top and sharp at the arms at the same time. The simplest focal zone is the face and collarbone area. Earrings with presence, a necklace that sits where the neckline opens, a soft scarf in a narrow drape, or even lipstick with more clarity can all pull the eye upward in a polished way. If you have silver hair, glasses, or strong brows, that can be part of the focal point too. On women who prefer arm coverage, an upward focal point is often especially useful because it creates elegance without adding volume elsewhere. The second strong zone is the waist or upper torso. A side tie, gentle drape, wrap detail, pleating, or a defined seam can create shape and give the eye a reason to stay in the center of the outfit. This is often helpful for taller women, women with fuller arms, and women attending events where jewelry may be minimal. A surprising third option is lower than many women expect. A hem border, a vertical print placement, a slit with movement, or a standout shoe can shift attention downward and lengthen the full look. This can be especially good for petites who want one longer visual line, or for women who do not enjoy a lot of detail near the face. When you try on a sleeveless dress, do not ask only, "Does this cover enough?" Also ask, "Where does this outfit want the eye to rest?" If the answer is nowhere, add focal point before you reject the dress. Sometimes the dress is not the problem. The outfit is just unfinished. And that is the confidence shift. Confidence does not always come from covering more. Often it comes from directing more. When you guide the eye, you feel less at the mercy of it. And once the eye has a destination, the final step is making sure contrast does not interrupt the line. Now we come to the final visual piece, and it connects directly back to the invisible sleeve. Color creates edges. Every time the eye sees a shift from one color to another, it registers a line. That line may be useful when you want contrast, structure, or drama. But if your goal is to make dressing feel softer and more continuous, too much contrast around the arm opening can make the transition look sharper than it needs to. This is why exact or near-exact matching can be so powerful. If you wear a black dress with a black underlayer or a navy dress with a navy layer, the eye reads the look as longer shape. If you wear a skin-toned underlayer under the dress, the transition can become gentler because it stops feeling like dress, then sudden skin, then separate cover. It simply reads as a calmer line. That is the payoff of trick 1 when color helps it disappear. Tonal layering is the more flexible version of this idea. Instead of matching exactly, you stay in the same color family. Think cocoa with bronze, navy with soft slate, blush with rose beige, olive with moss, cream with warm sand, or charcoal with smoky gray. Tonal dressing keeps the eye moving without interruption. It looks sophisticated on mature women because it feels intentional without trying too hard. Undertones matter. Fair skin often looks better with softened off-whites, pink beiges, cool taupes, or muted stone, instead of harsh white-beige combinations. Deeper skin tones often come alive with tonal families like espresso, plum brown, aubergine, bronze, ink navy, cinnamon, or warm olive. If a nude underlayer looks chalky, ashy, or flat against your skin, it is not your skin. It is the wrong undertone. Prints need attention too. If the dress has a strong print, look for an underlayer or topper that picks up a quieter shade from the print instead of competing with the loudest color. Blended prints usually cooperate better than large, high-contrast motifs placed right at the arm opening. The smoother the transition, the more elegant the system feels. This is how shopping becomes easier. Instead of asking, "What random extra piece can I throw on with this dress?" you start asking, "What tone continues the line?" Build a small color family in your closet, maybe black, navy, cocoa, soft taupe, and blush or olive group. Then your layers, earrings, shoes, and wraps start working together instead of arguing. So now you have the system. We changed the base. We changed the frame. We added permission. We directed the eye. And we softened contrast. The last thing you need is the shortcut that makes shopping faster. Here is the shopping shortcut I promised, and it can save you a lot of frustration. Do not shop for sleeveless dress help with vague words like cover-up, arm fixer, or flattering topper. Those searches often lead to bulky cardigans, beach pieces, or shapeless layers that solve nothing. Instead, search by function. For the base, use mesh sleeve layering top, second skin top, or sheer sleeve underlayer. For the soft coverage piece, use open front chiffon topper, lightweight gauze shirt jacket, summer kimono layer, or no closure evening wrap. For the color piece, add the actual dress color to the search. Type navy mesh layering top. Type cocoa chiffon topper. Type black tonal evening wrap. That one little change usually improves results immediately. Department stores, travel lines, occasion wear sections, dancewear basics, and modest layering collections are often more useful than ordinary sweater pages. Then use a quick filter system before you buy. Ask 5 questions. Does it have a smooth edge? Does it stay open or disappear cleanly? Is the fabric breathable? Does the color continue the line? And can I wear my real bra with this dress and still move comfortably? If the answer is no on most of those, keep scrolling. You are not shopping for a fantasy body or a studio photo. You are shopping for repeat wear in real life. And that brings us back to the deeper point of this video. The body was never the failure. The missing system was the failure. Now you have the system. Change the base with an invisible sleeve. Change the frame with a balanced strap. Add comfort with a permission layer. Guide attention with an eye magnet. Soften the line with color continuity. That is how a sleeveless dress becomes wearable again without asking you to become someone else first. That is real wardrobe freedom in practice. If this video helped you, subscribe, because the next one is about another place many women feel suddenly uncertain in the dressing room, the knee and calf area. And how to create length and elegance there without dressing older or heavier than you want to. And tell me in the comments, which of these 5 tricks are you most likely to try first? Your dress may not need replacing. It may just need a better system. Maybe one better layer, one better strap, one better focal point, and one better color choice. And when you are ready, watch the next video so we can keep building that system together.